Well, now I have a caller here, one of my fellow show hosts here from Texas. Do you mind if we grab a call real quick?
Oh, please.
All right. Just don't lose your place, and I'll try to remember where we left off, too. Yeah, Nickie,
Okay.
Go ahead.
Hi, it's Nickie. Hey, I just wanted to ask one quick question. I keep hearing you I guess hint at the whole energy sound that I guess they found it with the obelisks in Egypt and well the ones around the world as well. But like the frequency and the resonance, you keep using words that keep going back to the energy source. That like words, language, especially when it comes to English. The vibration that comes from words spoken is pretty much the exact opposite of what their actual meaning would be. I'm kind of intrigued because you keep using words that go back to the sound, and I don't know. I'm really interested in that, so I was just curious if you were going to go further with that.
That's what Pan's here for. If he knows anything, I'm sure he'll share.
So I appreciate your information and your input. I really want to stress that. See, I have a scientific background and an engineering background, and I've studied the occult, and I understand your questions, and there's truth in it. And certainly, you're talking about how these spoken English words often have this opposite power to them. Well, that seems to be the case when we have the war on drugs or, the war on terror. And in either case, they do nothing but promote, drugs or promote terror. So I understand your position there. But when we're talking about supernatural or occult phenomena, I'm really not comfortable talking about that because, I want to try to
well, I was actually like the new quantum science that's been coming out, seriously, showing that because of the connections that even simple electrons had at the beginning of the Big Bang, that therefore just us observing them allows them to act in a certain way as opposed to, because when they're not actually being observed or watched, like the electrons will be everywhere and nowhere in one place and the next place and all at one time, but not be separated because it's still just one thing. And it's just amazing how science, kind of fell upon I don't know, I don't want to use really the word spirituality, but I don't know what other word to really use there.
Well, I'm a Christian, I'll disclose up front. And the smartest man that I've ever known in my life, Dr. Thomas Turner, was a physicist, and he was probably the most devout Christian that I've ever known as well. Yes, when you study the world, the universe, how we're composed, there is this beautiful harmonic organization that suggests that some divine brilliance underlies it all. Quantum mechanics, you talk about quantum mechanics, there are a lot of strange things. You remember earlier I was talking about the Michelson-Morley experiment and how it showed that time was invariant. Time was not invariant. Time actually changes depending on your speed, and that light is invariant. That was a consequence that nobody expected, but that's just the way things are. But there was another profound realization that occurred about 40 years later, and that was the quantum revolution. One of the experiments in quantum physics that is outside of our normal experience. It's something that we just have to accept as reality. Matter of fact, Albert Einstein, who was one of the authors, one of the people who came up with special relativity, he could never accept quantum mechanics because it just did not. It was so beyond.
Was it practical?
Fantastical, beyond his everyday experience. He famously quoted as saying that God doesn't play dice. Well, he was wrong. Quantum mechanics has been proven to be true. And one of the basic ideas behind quantum mechanics is the wave-particle duality of matter. If you take, this is demonstrated very simply in a double-slit experiment. You can take a piece of cardboard and cut two slits in them close to each other, and then shine monochromatic light at it, and behind it you'll see a diffraction pattern where the waves of light will interfere with each other, and you'll have this pattern of light and darkness behind this piece of cardboard that you're shining this monochromatic light. When I say monochromatic, it means single color, like red or green or whatever. Well, what's very strange is that you can substitute light with electrons. And electrons, everybody knows, are particles. They have masses that have been measured very accurately. If you shoot electrons at a similar diffraction screen, these double slits, one at a time. Well, if you shoot a bunch of them at the screen, you'll get a diffraction pattern of electrons in the back. And you'll say, okay, well, somehow this deluge of electrons are interfering with each other as they pass through these double slits, and they're creating a diffraction pattern in the background. But you can turn down that electron gun so it's just shooting one electron at a time. Bam, 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 bam. And after a while, you'll still get the diffraction pattern, which is very freaky, right? Because that means that these electrons are somehow able, these single electrons are able to travel through both slits simultaneously, interfere with each other, and then manifest as a particle when they strike the screen behind it. Now, that's just the way reality is. That's the way God created the universe. There are a lot of very strange things about quantum mechanics that are hard to wrap your mind around. And I know you were talking about this spooky action at a distance, as Einstein referred to it. That is, this quantum coupling is there's still some debate over what's actually happening with quantum coupling, and I'm not really prepared to talk about it, but there are lots of bizarre things going on at the quantum level that we don't understand, and that contradict our normal day-to-day experiences.
It's kind of nice. It's like it only pays attention because you're paying attention. It's that whole essence that, and this is, if you want to get into the Bible, this is what's stated too, is that this world was for us. It was given to us to experience, hence the free will. And it seems like science is actually showing pretty much the same thing. And it doesn't matter whether you believe in a Christian God or you believe the universe or the soul, love, whatever it is, it's still showing that there's that it is truly for us to view. It's kind of odd that I find it absolutely fascinating. So I always want more. So I apologize, but I'll knock out here. I thank you for talking to me. It's always nice to find physicists actually explain something now and then. I mean, because it's just because of layman terms, and I apologize. I didn't mean that in any mean way at all. But thank you so much, and thank you, Proof, and everybody else at Freedomizer, of course. And I'll be here listening.
Thanks for bringing some different insight to the game.
No, that was very interesting. Thanks a lot.